We're at the sold-out Amway Center. It'll be the defending NBA champion Golden State Warriors and the Orlando Magic. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. David Aldridge joins us from the sideline. And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, you hear a lot about the chemistry on this Warriors team. Now, one thing that they do is after a road game, if they have the next day off, they stay in that city and they have a team dinner. Steph Curry said, instead of going our separate ways, we enjoy each other's company. It helps build the camaraderie that you need to be successful. Kevin?
And thanks, David. Relationships come before anything else. Clearly, these guys like each other off the court as well.
The worst bench in the league by net rating resided in Orlando with the Magic. It's hard enough to win without star talent, but if you're also thin on the bench, no chance.
Here we go. And the Magic start out with the ball. All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, Durant and Draymond Green, talented forward duo. It's the Splash Brothers, Curry and Clay in the backcourt. And it's Pachulia in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And you look at the roster for Orlando, where do they go next, Clark? What's their biggest need?
Well, I mean, they've got a number of needs, but an elite scorer would certainly raise the level of this team, the ability to create something out of nothing. In other words, players that can make plays for themselves or others. Those are the kind of guys that, heck, everybody wants those kind of guys, Kevin, but the Magic certainly need players of that ilk.
So the Orlando Magic able to put the first points up on the board. Here's Thompson. Vucevic with the rebound.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Even when the defense is right up in Fournier, he's still tricky down inside. Constantly figures out ways to keep the defense guessing.
That one misses for Fournier.
And with the Warriors, their ability to score in bunches really is unmatched throughout the league. They'll be going along with the team, and then all of a sudden they have that 20-point lead in like 3 minutes. It can happen so fast that I think at times the other teams are shell-shocked.
And, Kevin, that three ball of Curry, deadly. I mean, you feel like it's going in as soon as he lets it go, no matter where, at what angle, or how deep.
Now, here's Fournier. Kicks to Vucevic. Banked in off the glass.
And setting the tone early with a strong move to the rack.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness and the fearlessness there, Greg. I mean, very committed to getting the shot he wanted.
Green kicks to Durant. Back to Green from past the arc. It's hauled in by the Magic. Payton dishes to Gordon. Here's Isaac. Hits it from three-point range. Isaac's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for three.
Boy, I like how Gordon dishes the ball. When his teammates are open, he finds them on time and on target. Like that execution, Kevin. A successful possession leading to a high percentage basket.
And that does it for the first quarter. Magic lead by 4. 2K Sports, back in a moment from the Amway Center. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And guys, for the Magic, what jumps out to you so far, numbers-wise?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Grinding away down low, man, just filing them down. Love the bully ball method. Paying off well.
And Clark, when you were growing up, was there one player in pro basketball you tried to emulate or model your game after?
I really didn't pattern my game after any particular player. I tried to piece and parcel from a lot of players. I loved the gracefulness of Lou Alcindor, now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when I first saw him. back in the late 60s. At his size and the way he could move and his touch was impressive. And then as I became more of a forward in high school, you looked at guys like Magic Johnson, and I looked at Marcus Johnson out at UCLA. Dr. J was a versatile forward as well. George McGinnis, who ended up becoming a really good friend of mine as I got drafted by the Pacers. Those guys that were big and mobile and had ball skills and shooting skills and rebounded, those were guys that I tried to play like.
Losses the 3 with Gordon at the 4. Payton and Hezonja, their backcourt, and it's Biyombo at the 5 down low. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic.
You know, Bismack Biyombo is a defensive-minded center. Amazing the story that got him to the NBA. I mean, grew up in the Congo, and a lot of trials and tribulations along the way, but perseverance prevailed, and Biyombo is now an NBA player.
The free throw drops for Biyombo. And Biyombo signing a 4-year, $72 million contract with the Magic last season. You talk, Clark, about rags to riches. Wow.
Yeah, big time. And the best part of this rags to riches story is how he's giving back or paying forward to his homeland. Building schools and basketball courts in the Congo. And he's lifting up countrymen through basketball and education. That's a powerful combination and really an excellent use of the platform and the resources afforded Biyombo by way of the NBA.
Shot clock at 6. Young in the corner. Lets the 3 fly. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Yeah, I like that lean back release. Hard for any defender to get to Young's jumper.
Ross passes to Gordon. Hezonja kicks to Gordon. Orlando moving the ball around. Ross with it, and it's Iguodala picking him up. Ross, that's good.
When it comes to driving the ball inside, Ross is awesome. Remarkably quick and athletic. Knifes his way to the rim with ease.
And Young kicks to Livingston. Shot from 12. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
Well, you really can't get too upset at the defense there. I mean, they were there, but just not good enough to prevent the mid-range jumper from falling.
Shoots a fader. And so it's Orlando with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their defense has been active and effective. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Alfred, how big is defense going to be in the second half to help you get this win?
It's going to be big. That's what it's going to come down to. Defense wins games.
It certainly does, Alfred. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points. Checking out the Magic, Kenny, what do you think?
Well, I think to shoot a high percentage, the offense has to be in sync. And in the first half, those guys were sharing the basketball, playing for each other. Now it becomes a matter of being consistent at it.
Shaq, what are your thoughts on Golden State?
The second half is gut check time for the defense. Allowing over 60% shooting is weak sauce. Weak barbecue sauce, weak Butterfinger sauce, weak sauce, period. The coach needs a light fire under these guys. If you don't want to do it, I'll do it, Ernie.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Warriors trail by 6. I think it's been a long rebuild for the Magic, but they really feel they've got a plan in place.
Well, you've heard the front office talking that they're going to win at least one championship by the year 2030. And I got to say, that's an interesting quote, to say the least. I mean, I have heard of a 5-year plan, but a 13-year plan, I guess you'd call that building for the long term.
And on the floor for Steve Kerr as we get into the second half. Inside, we've got Draymond at the 4 and Pachulia to his side. Lethal shooting pair of Clay and KD out on the perimeter. And it's Curry in at the 1 spot. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, Kevin, the Orlando Magic do have a stacked front court. They've got plenty of size. Head coach Frank Vogel said, in today's small ball NBA, we think we can beat the heck out of teams in the paint. But shooting has been a hindrance, and he conceded we might have to win some games, 68-65. Kevin?
Going against the grain, DA. Thank you. Jonathan Simmons is checked in for Aaron Gordon. And Golden State also making a change. West is checked in. That one drops. He ties it up. And Clark, you were around Coach Frank Vogel quite a bit during his run as head coach of the Pacers. When you look back on it, what stands out?
His preparation. He's an eager learner. He's meticulous in his detail. He's even-keeled and extremely positive. I think he's an outstanding young coach, and good to see him having a team that he can have an opportunity to build and shape into a playoff contender at some point.
Here's Isaac. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Persistence pays, Kevin. Love seeing Isaac stay with the play like that, using his height and the high release on those nice finishes.
And Jonathan Isaac, a 6'11" small forward out of Florida State. You know, we're seeing more and more players like this with the length of a center and the guard skills. You know, you think of KD, Brandon Ingram, and now Isaac.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Biombo, he's checked in for Vucevic, and it's Ross in for Elfrid Payton. And the story for Jonathan Isaac. As a sophomore in high school, Greg, he stood 6'3" and played guard. He hit a growth spurt, as you can see.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. I think what I notice most is that he's retained not just the perimeter skill, but also the fluidity. I mean, he's light on his feet and really moves well. Remember, there was another guy that was a point guard that had a nice growth spurt. I think his name was Anthony Davis.
Ross kicks to Fournier. They set the screen. Just 5 on the clock. The putback, and Simmons is right there.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
Curry kicks to Iguodala. Durant dishes to Thompson. Here's Curry. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Orlando out in front, leading by a point. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. Now let's listen in to Frank Vogel's huddle.
Shrink the floor. When you're on the ball or closing out, close out faster. Okay, take away their airspace and then contain their drive.
And that's the catch-22 there. Frank Vogel wanting better perimeter defense, but also wanting to limit forays to the hoop.
Yeah, and it takes tremendous discipline to do that. Don't leave your feet, don't reach, and everyone help each other defensively.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Down low, it's the athletic pair of Gordon and Biombo. Simmons is out there with Hazonia, and it's Ross in at the 3. This is out there for Orlando. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Warriors.
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
Yeah, but I also like the balance because they're doing a great job of getting inside and converting around the rim. I really like their aggressiveness.
Vucevic checked in for Orlando. Elfrid Payton comes in for Jonathan Simmons. That's good from Stephen Curry.
He's really the guy you want on the stripe in that situation. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He's clutch.
Payton passes to Gordon. Here's the screen. Pachulia against Vucevic. Yep, that one goes in there.
Sometimes, quite simply, getting a hand in the face of Vucevic is not enough. He doesn't buckle when the defense tightens up.
And Thompson kicks to Curry. No good on the triple.
Well executed, great rhythm. You've got to finish that one.
Agree with you there, partner, because that screen really freed him up nicely, and that's a shot. And if you're a pro, you need to make that one.
Picked by Pachulia. And Thompson kicks to Curry. And again, no good by Golden State. Magic have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Now the dish to Ross. Gordon, the pass to Payton. Feeds it to Ross. Passes it to Vucevic. Over Pachulia. Buries it.
And this atmosphere is bananas.
Electric in here. I mean, that was a tremendous shot, but this crowd all over, turned up.
Now a timeout called by Golden State. They're behind by 2. There's 37 seconds left in the game. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Nikola Vucevic.
And in terms of his shooting, this has been one of the more accurate performances you'll ever see. I mean, he's been in constant motion, creating a lot of good looks for himself. But still, even when you're wide open, you expect to miss some of the time. That has not been the case here tonight. This guy has made everything.
Isaac's checked in for Orlando. Fournier comes in for his own. And the Warriors also making a change. Draymond Green, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey guys, I was able to catch the message Steve Kerr gave to his team. This game is obviously close, could go either way, and he wanted to make sure that his guys were all on the same page and were all staying with the game plan in order to close this one out. Kevin?
Timeout called the Warriors. They're behind by 2. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. What's your take, guys?
You know what? You can go for the 3 to win or the 2 to tie. What's your choice in a situation like this?
Well, I don't think you set that decision in stone and anchor it in this timeout. You see how things play out. You're going to try to get a good, quick shot. And if it's a good 3 with a good shooter, let it fly. If it's something in the paint, then you take that. But it's about being a good, quick shot in this situation.
Every basket you can get.
Greg, I think they're still alive here, but they better execute every trip down the floor from here on out.
Thompson dishes to Green. Bullseye!
Timeout. And they still have a foul to give at this point.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. They're trailing by 1. 11 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
and really no need to rush. Still plenty of time to get a good look.
Well, if they've got a play that they use to get a quality shot, this is the time to run it.
Here's Fournier, and Vucevic kicks to Fournier. Pass to Isaac. And there's the feed to Vucevic. It's off. So it's a narrow victory for the Warriors, pulling out the W. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Steph, you guys were down. How did you get back, and what did you do to spark your team?
I don't know, just be aggressive. That's all we do. Shots are going to fall. As long as we got defensive stops and kept ourselves in the game, that we have enough talent on this team to turn the tide. So it says a lot about who we are and what our mission is this year.
Great win, Steph. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.